What is going on, everybody? As expected, Apple is dropping iOS 26 Public Beta 5 based off of iOS 26 Developer Beta 8 that they released recently. And yeah, I gotta say, from the limited time of using this, everything minus a subtle glitch in the control center that's been present through all betas, this seems to be the way to go. Upon install, I do have to say though that this phone got hotter than some of the more prior betas in beta 7 and 6 and even public beta 4 before that. However, it did drop off and is cool to the touch as expected. So now, having said all that, as you saw, the animations still look great for liquid glass, and if you've been hesitant waiting on really all these other betas to come through before committing to getting into either the public beta or the developer betas, I can safely say this seems like the way to go. Obviously, the biggest question everyone always asks is battery life, and on iOS 26 public beta 4 or developer beta 7, battery life was okay. However, it was very hit and miss. What I mean by that is some days it was very inconsistent where I had to actually charge multiple times a day, as you can see here, just to kind of get through. And other days, it was like nothing. It was like it should have. This iPhone has 365 cycle counts at 95% max capacity now, which in almost exactly a year of usage, that is not too terrible. Now, one other thing I want to call out, again, this is going to be iOS 26 Developer Beta 7, but these beta downloads, yet again, came in at over 10 gigs. So there must be a lot of bug squashing going on the back end, which I'll take it. I'm happy to see that. As you can see, up to date. And then if you want to know this build number, it is yet again an A build with the full build number of 23A5330A. So, barring anything crazy happening in the next week or so, this should be the final public beta before the actual RC or release candidate comes out for developers, which should happen in 2 weeks. We should not get another beta again, barring anything crazy or new bugs found, next week on the week of September 1st, since it is Labor Day as well here in the US. But if all the rumors stay true, on September 8th, or I should say more September 9th, we will be getting the Apple event that everyone's super excited about for the iPhone 17 series, the new Apple Watch Ultra 3, Series 11, and possibly a new Vision Pro and some other items. This is it. This is what you can expect. So, having said that, since we're not any longer probably on a weekly release cycle, should you download this? I think it is safe to put this on your primary device if you're running possibly an iPhone 15 or 16. Pushing it back any more than that, there could be more bugs discovered. You never know, honestly, and it's still risky to do. However, since we are now 5 betas into these public cycles, I think it is safe to say it is okay to install. Now, having said that, if Apple does stand to what we believe them to do and have their Apple event on September 9th or the week of September 8th, we can assume on the 15th of September, that is when we will finally get the public release altogether. So, even if you don't want to take that chance and download this for 3 weeks of having this beta, that is all you have to wait for. The public release is exactly 3 weeks from today. Now, aside from that also, you can anticipate that on September 19th for the new Apple iPhones to be released and all those new products they're going to announce. So, again, not too long to wait now at all. I do want to just show you a couple things really quick. Let's jump into the Stocks app and show you just how smooth everything is actually operating. I've had no issues here. Even jumping into, let's go to the camera app, everything just is working so much smoother than it was prior. That's why I feel confident saying this could be the one to get. Opening apps have been good. No actual crashes has been received in the last beta cycle last week, so in a week's time frame. I haven't had any issues with banking apps, since that's always one, or financial apps in general. We did have one prior with beta 3, but not any longer now. So if you're worried about banking or financial apps, investment apps, this seems to be pretty solid for that support. One call out I do want to mention, let me grab my iPhone 16e here, is that we do have release notes here for beta 8, which again is identical, or should be identical, to what we're going to see with public beta 5, and there are a ton of known issues and resolved issues. But the good thing here is the resolved issues far outweigh what we were getting for known issues. As you can see, there's only one here for apps, and then a couple other ones intermittently. There's a ton here. I'm not going to take too much time up to explain these. You can find them yourself by going to developer.apple.com and reading them right there. Now, aside from that as well, I do want to call this out because I want your guys' help and comment down below. I always talk about this on our beta videos, but for some reason, our iPhone storage is still ridiculous for system data. We are using almost 35 gigs here in purely system data, which is crazy. From our past videos that we've talked about this, everyone seems to be having significantly higher system data. However, some people are reporting only a few gigs. Some people are reporting over 40 gigs. It is crazy. Comment down below and let me know how much resources the system data is using. iOS has kept pretty consistent here at almost 20 gigs on our 16 Pro Max, with 6 plus going to Apple Intelligence and 13 plus going to iOS. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to call that out as well. And then, since Liquid Glass hasn't changed too much since beta 4 and 5 and public betas as well recently, this is pretty safe to say what we're going to get in the release candidate or RC version of this coming in the next couple of weeks. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I like it. I'm glad they went back to this design that was originally what they envisioned and didn't let a couple people on Twitter dissuade them from saying it wasn't good. I'm definitely a fan. You can see it's still frosted, still not quite as transparent as the original betas, but I think this was a good compromise nonetheless. So again, that is basically what is going on in all of these betas. Again, if you have watchOS, it's been solid as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and how you feel about the current stance on iOS 26. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.